All right, these notes are for a standard form of a parabola, and the standard form of a parabola, the equation looks like this. Okay? So you have y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So when we are doing these problems, we can always find the vertex, but it's not as straightforward as it was in vertex form. To get the x-coordinate of the vertex, or the h, we have to take the opposite of b over 2a. Now I know everyone says negative b, but if you think of it as the opposite of b, chances are you'll be more successful in finding it. All right, so let's look at this first one. First we need to identify a, b, and c. So a is the number in front of x squared, so if there's no number, there's an invisible 1. So I'll write 1 for a. The b is the number in front of x, so that's negative 6, and the c is 10. So to find the x-coordinate, or the h of the vertex, we're going to take the opposite of b, which is negative 6, over 2 times a, which is 1. So this gives me negative 6 over 2, which simplifies to negative 3. So my x-coordinate is negative 3. Now that I know my x-coordinate, I need to plug it back into my equation to find my y. So I'm going to kind of find f of x, but it's not really f of x, it's f of negative 3. So I'm going to plug in negative 3. So negative 3 squared minus 6 times negative 3 plus 10. Well, negative 3 squared is positive 9. Negative 6 times negative 3 is positive 18. Plus 10. Now I need to add them all together. So 9 plus 18 plus 10 gives me 37. And my point is negative 337. All right, let's try this again. On number 2, my a is 1. My b is negative 8. My c is 5. Sorry, I'm having some issues with my pen. Okay, the opposite of b would be positive 8 over 2 times a, which is 1. So that gives us 8 over 2, which is 4. So I know the x-coordinate is 4. Now I need to plug it in and find f of 4. So that's going to be 4 squared minus 8 times 4 plus 5. So this is 16 minus 32 plus 5. So negative 16 plus 5, which is negative 11, and that's my y-coordinate. All right, let's try this again on number 3. So a is negative 2, b is negative 8, and c is 1. So to get the x-coordinate, I have the opposite of b, which is 8, over 2 times a, which is negative 2. So I have 8 over negative 4, which is negative 2. So that's my x-coordinate. But now I want to find f of negative 2, because I'm taking this and plugging it in. So I have negative 2 times negative 2 squared minus 8 times negative 2 plus 1. Well, over here, this part, negative 2 squared is positive 4. Positive 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. This is plus a negative. Negative 8 times negative 2 is positive 16, and then plus 1. So 16 plus negative 8 gives me 8, plus 1 would be 9. For the next one, my a is 3. My b is negative 12, and my c is 40. So when I plug that in to find the x, the opposite of b is negative, it would be positive 12. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. Would be positive 12 over 2 times a, which is 3. So I get 12 over 6, which is just 2. So that is my x-coordinate. Now I need to find my y-coordinate, so I'm going to find f of 2, which is 3 times 2 squared minus 12 times 2 plus 40. 2 squared is 4 times 3 is 12 minus 24 plus 40. So I get negative 12 plus 40, and negative 12 plus 40 is 28. Yeah. All right, now we're going to do this and graph it. So the first thing you have to do is find the vertex. So same thing that we've been doing. So to find the x-coordinate of the vertex, we're going to do the opposite of b, which is 4, over 2 times a, which is 1. So that gives me 4 over 2, which is 2. So my vertex is going to be 2 something. Now I need to take that and plug it in. So to figure out y, I'm going to have 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 8. So that's 4 minus 8 plus 8. Well, the 8's cancel, so I just get 4. So the first point I'm going to plot is 2, 4. So that's right here. Now I need to find more points because I have to more than that. And we're not going to use our pattern this time. We're going to use new information. This time we're going to use the y-intercept. Well, the y-intercept is when x is 0. So when if I plug in 0 for all of these things, well, that's easy. Y is just going to equal 8, right? So the y-intercept is 0, 8. Okay, so now when I graph it, I got to think, if this is the vertex, that's got to be my axis of symmetry. And if this point here is 2 from the left, this one's got to be 2 from the right. And so now my graph looks like that, because with the axis of symmetry, the points have to be the same distance from each side. Okay, let's try this again on the second one. So to find the x-coordinate on my vertex, I take the opposite of b, which is 6, which is over 2 times a. So I get 6 over 2, which is 3. So now I need to find the y-coordinate. So I'm going to plug in 3. So I have 3 squared minus 6 times 3 minus 1. So that's 9 minus 18 minus 1. So negative 9 minus 1, which would be negative 10. So my vertex is 3, negative 10, which is right here. The next thing I'm going to do is find my y-intercept. With my y-intercept, I'm going to plug in 0 for x. So if I plug in 0 for these things, they're going to go away. So y equals negative 1. So my y-intercept is 0, negative 1. Okay. Now, thinking that this is my vertex and my axis of symmetry, since this point is 1, 2, 3 to the left, this point is 1, 2, 3 to the right, so I'm going to connect it, and there's my parabola. Because we're not in standard form, doing the pattern isn't going to quite work this time. All right, so on the last one, to find my vertex, I've got the opposite of b, which is negative 6 over 2 times a, which is 3. So I get negative 6 over 6, which is negative 1. Now I've got to find the y-coordinate. So I'm going to plug in negative 1. So I have 3 times negative 1 squared plus 6 times negative 1 minus 2. Negative 1 squared is positive 1 times 3 is 3. So I get 3 minus 6 minus 2. So that's negative 3 minus 2, which would be negative 5. Okay, there's that. My y-intercept. Well, my y-intercept is when I plug in 0 for x. So all of that goes away. So y just equals negative 2, and that would be 0, negative 2. So my axis of symmetry is going to go right here for the vertex. And because this point is 1 away to the right, this one has to be 1 away to the left. And there's my parabola.